Good Monday morning, everybody. Welcome into the creepy weather. Ooh, that was creepy. Sorry. It is Halloween, Monday, October 31st, here on the Sam channel, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Halloween it is, and trick-or-treaters will be out this evening looking for some not only candies and treats, but also some fairly decent weather, maybe to go trick or treating in. I think for the most part, we'll be okay. There may be some sprinkles and cloud cover around, but overall, not that bad. It's not going to be sunny, I can tell you that. Here's a look at radar this morning, showing the system that brought us about a half inch of rain officially yesterday for Bowling Green. Now moving off to the east, but there's still a cold front and a couple of little waves in the atmosphere, disturbances that are still out there and moving this way. So I expect a cloudy day, sometimes a little breezy, and at times maybe even another shower or two, or just drizzle and sprinkles. That's pretty much what we are going to see today across southern Kentucky and northern middle Tennessee on this Halloween. It's going to improve, but not today. In fact, it may not improve until we get into later on tomorrow across the area, because we've got a lot of those disturbances just kind of floating through the atmosphere, and they're not in a hurry to get out of here. So I think we could even see some cloud cover on Tuesday, and then we begin to warm up over the next few days. As you see there with the 10-day blend of models, we go mid to upper 60s today, with the cloud cover and those lingering light rain showers or drizzle or sprinkles. Could be a little variety there during the day today. Tomorrow, a little more sunshine, 71. Then we go mid 70s for the rest of the week as we get into the first few days of November. And then as we get into this weekend, I am anticipating a potent storm system come in. And as I've been alluding to the last couple of days, this one has the potential to bring us some heavier rain and some steady rains that could put a dent in the drought, which is now still 5 inches below, as far as rainfall year to date. We're still way below on rainfall. It's awfully dry, but the weekend could hold the cards for some heavier rainfall. And there you see a cool down as we get closer to Election Day, which is next Tuesday, and the middle of next week dropping into the 60s. You want specifics? I've got specifics. So let's take a look at those this morning. As we look at temperatures to start out this Halloween morning across much of the southern Kentucky area, and the Kentucky Mesonet Network is showing that temperatures are starting out in the upper 50s to low 60s. Anywhere you look, right here at 5 a.m. as I record this podcast, you can see a couple of 60s here and there. Mostly it's upper 50s. And there's been a little bit of drizzle and even some sprinkles overnight, but it hasn't really changed anything as much as measurable rainfall. But I will show you some of the totals from yesterday, as I mentioned, at the airport, right at a half inch of rain. At the northern Mesonet side up near the Corvette plant, over a half inch, but only 35 hundredths, a third of an inch plus. At the southern Mesonet site here in Warren County, out toward the Ag Expo Center. Now, some of you picked up a tenth of an inch, a quarter of an inch. There you see over a half inch in Hart County, almost a half inch in Grayson County, almost 3/4 of an inch of rain up in Ohio County. So it was varied amounts all across the area, but it was nice to get that rain yesterday. Every little bit helps, but we're still in a severe drought situation And we're not going to get out of that until we pick up 3 or 4 inches of rain, which is possible with this system coming in for the weekend. I'm not saying it would happen, but it is a possibility if we can get everything lined up exactly how we need it to pick up that kind of rainfall. Let's take a look at the future temperatures on this Monday, Halloween 2022. We'll start in the upper 50s to low 60s, and we'll only get up into the mid 60s today, maybe upper 60s, possible for some, but not even Nashville is going to get that warm because of the cloud cover, and the winds are coming out of the south and west. Yes, and normally that means warmer, but the canopy of clouds and the sprinkles and the drizzle, occasional shower activity today is going to keep things rather cool-ish. Then we go into tonight, back down into the low 50s, 52, 53, 54, and then back into the mid to upper 60s tomorrow with a little bit more in the way of sunshine, especially by afternoon. I think Tuesday will even start out with sprinkles or drizzle before we start to see some clearing taking place later in the day. So, how about the future radar and what it's going to look like? Well, here you go. Today, we're going to see those showers that are moving out this morning, and you can see those now starting to. Well, they're trickling out just a bit, but I still think we're going to get, as you see here, just little blips every now and then showing up on the radar today, and that could be a passing sprinkle or a mist, drizzle, or even a shower. We could see a brief shower come later this afternoon. I think there will be just enough forcing or instability to maybe put a brief shower somewhere around Bowling Green in southern Kentucky, northern Middle Tennessee. And this could play into, that 4 p.m. to 7 range when you normally send your kids out to go trick or treating. They may need a jacket, or they may need a parka or something over their costume. I don't think it's going to really be that bad. There may be a couple of places where a shower pops up and you're like, oh man, this is going to ruin my costume. And then a few minutes later, it's over. It's just going to be one of those kind of situations. So plan accordingly. Have your car nearby in case you need to make a run for the car if you get a brief downpour. But other than that, it's just going to be this stuff that just quickly passes by and should be fairly light. Then we get into tonight and early on Tuesday. Things get pretty quiet. There still may be some lingering drizzle now and then, but for the most part, we're out of here as far as the rain. Now, I will show you something here that on Wednesday is a little weak system, a little piece of energy that's going to try to swing through here from the southwest. Here it comes, and it shows that we would get a little bit of maybe drizzle or sprinkles out of this. Excuse me, but it's just not very organized, and the air may be too dry at the surface where we are for it to actually come down. In other words, this could be what we call virga. That's where the rain, you can actually see rain. It looks like it's falling through from the clouds. You see these little wisps of clouds underneath the main cloud structure or the canopy of clouds, but there's no rain that actually hits the ground. It evaporates. So we could have that kind of a scenario on Wednesday as that little piece of energy flies through pretty quickly. But after that, we're back to sunshine on Thursday and Friday. And then as we get into the weekend, things do change. I originally had, and I stuck with maybe some rain coming in Friday night, but I'm seeing signs that this next system, a very potent one, is going to slow down a bit. And that could change the timing, but not the potential for a good soaking rain this coming weekend and even into the beginning of next week. So let me show you that right now. Here's the setup with these little systems flying through, and there's our little, I guess you could call it a clipper. It's just a little system that's coming through with some of the raindrops or sprinkles that or drizzle that we see today. It's going to come on through and then just kind of dissolve as it moves east. Here we go into about trick-or-treating time. Notice most of that activity is east of us, and then it just kind of fizzles out and goes away tonight and early tomorrow. But it will leave, I think, some leftover cloud cover tomorrow morning, and then we'll gradually begin to clear as we get into the afternoon. A mainly sunny sky for Tuesday afternoon and evening, or Tuesday afternoon, then the evening mainly clear, Wednesday looking good. And here is that big storm that will be really bringing some wintry weather to the Pacific Northwest and into the Rockies. Look at all that snow coverage. Here we go into Wednesday, Thursday, as you see there. Wow. Lots of snow and a lot of mix. And then in the lower elevations, a lot of rain. But this is a fairly strong ridge of high pressure here that hangs on for us into Thursday and into Friday. But here comes that system. Now, this is where things get a little uncertain. I like to use the word, very technical term, wonky. No, it's not a technical term at all. It's one of these situations where you've got a strong high out to the east, and we're right in the middle of that strong high in this very potent storm, which looks like it's going to produce a closed low pressure system, which is going to be a low pressure system not necessarily attached to a front, and is just going to sit there and maybe do the job of bringing us some potentially drenching rainfall, which is something we could use. So the timing of this may not be what I originally told you, but I think the potency of the storm is still in play. So here it is. Here's the setup as we get into Saturday morning. The system stalls. Notice there it's a stationary front, closed low pressure system, and then a series of systems winding around that front. Heavy rain, strong to severe storms, Texas, Louisiana, parts of Arkansas, Oklahoma, Nebraska, Kansas. For us, we'll start to see some raindrops on Saturday, but it's more into Sunday, which you don't see here painted in, that we finally get the beginning of this system as it picks up a little momentum. And notice here, there's a bit of a tilt to the left with this system. It becomes a little bit what we call occluded. It wraps around itself. And I think that is where the potential for the heavier rains are from Sunday forward as that system comes in. Now, I can't show you anything after this because that's as far as this synoptic map goes. But I think once we get into the next 24 hours, we will have a better handle on how this is going to play out into Monday and into the beginning of next week, when we could get potentially a good couple of days of soaking rainfall. We could even see, as I said before, some potentially severe weather. Fall typically gives us another round of severe weather. I'm not saying there's going to be tornadoes and all that, but well, it's something that we'll have to watch. The big thing right now is putting a huge dent in the drought, which I hope this system could give us if everything falls into place. But it's too soon to say that. So we'll just have to be patient and wait it out. In the meantime, you guys be careful. Go trick-or-treating this afternoon and this evening. Maybe take an umbrella or some sort of rain jacket, or have the car close by just in case one of those little showers try to sneak up on you. Otherwise, have fun. Gosh, don't make anything else out of Halloween but having fun. Just getting out there and getting some treats and seeing your neighbors and friends and just fellowship and just have a good time with it. Golly, there's so much terrible going on. Just have a good time with your kids and your grandkids and your neighbors and their kids and just fellowship. It should be that way, like it used to be. Just have fun. Come on. Come on, man. Have fun. All right, you guys, I'll see you on the radio. Oh yeah, I got some tricks and treats going on this morning on my radio show 6 to 10 Sam 100.7. I'm going to play a lot of Halloween songs this morning to get you in the mood. I'll play the typical stuff, but classics from way back, like the Monster Mash. Yeah, Thriller, Werewolves of London. I've got all those songs and many, many more to break out of the casket this morning. Blah, blah, blah. One of my favorite movies, Transylvania, Hotel Transylvania. Love Adam Sandler. He's just awesome. All right, you guys, have a great day. God bless you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the radio.